Welcome. Whakalofalahi atu, malolelei, talofalava, bolavanaka, namaste, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. My name is Tiosiana Simpson. I'm honoured to represent the family today to share the footsteps of Don's life. Don said he wanted a big send-off. Well, he got it. He didn't get a police escort. He got his mates from the Twin Coast Bike Club. His journey begins with his children and grandchildren, bringing Don here. Olivia Bostock, Jared Bostock, Ryan Bostock, Tiana Bostock Kotai, Leilani Bostock Kotai, and Coralie Bostock. Shian, Tremaine, and Riley for handing out the service sheets. Your papa would have been very proud. Family was very important to him. Don was not a religious man. Here's a message. Goodbyes are not forever. Goodbyes are not the end. They simply mean I'll miss you until we meet again. Don, Sharon was definitely the love of your life. Gosh, always had to have the last say. Today is no different. Love the nickname you gave her. This message is from her to you. My love. Don, you're my rock, my soulmate. My heart's broken, breaks bit by bit each day. Kids have my back. So do our many friends. But that's not gonna bring you back. Thanks for choosing me for the last 4 odd decades. Love you loads, beeswax. I will now call Richard Hatch to come up and do a reading.
Thanks. When I was given the honour of doing the eulogy, I went around and asked the family, well, how would you like this done? What's the order that you want things done? And Sharon, being Sharon, says, oh, who the hell cares? Just do it how you want. So I'm doing it in the order she decided in the end. So normally I guess I would start talking about the family's contribution to Donald's life, but she's asked me to read a couple of words here from 2 of Don's early school day mates. So we'll start with Andy Wallace. I first met Don in 1963, I think. Dave, Peter and Don transferred to Knighton Road Primary School mid-year. I think Don and I were about 8 years old at the time. It was very apparent that Don and Pete in particular were very keen sportsmen. Don and I both played junior boys rugby for what was the Hillcrest Rugby Club, which at the time was probably one of the biggest junior boys clubs in Hamilton. Don was a promising young halfback with a sharp pass and a good running game. Defensively, he never lacked from courage. Guess that came from having to tackle his brother Peter in the many backyard games we played. Peter, as a youngster, was built like a brick outhouse. We also played rugby at Knighton Road Primary, having a formidable team of young fellas that still remain in contact to this day. We would play against other primary school teams around Hamilton. Travel to these games was on the old Hamilton buses, which were painted in all blue. Steve Abbott, who was a bit of a character, devised a song around the Beatles' hit, "We All Live in a Yellow Submarine." I'm sure our rugby coach, Mr. Haywood, hated the song by the end of the final year at Knighton Road. Sunday afternoons in winter were spent at the Waikato University grounds playing rugby with pickup teams of all the neighbourhood kids. There were always 20 to 30 kids in attendance, no phones or laptops on that day. It was not always about rugby at primary school. We were also there to eat our lunches, provided by our mums. Cricket, softball, even to an extent soccer, not very often, were played to varying degrees of success. The annual game of softball against the teachers was always a highlight for us kids as we got out of the classroom for a few hours. Having played Saturday morning cricket for a number of years, we switched to softball based at the primary school. Don immediately showed that he had the right temperament for the game, softball, being an outstanding outfielder with a very strong arm. It was then, when we were playing, that we met Lawrence Joseph, who played for the Melbourne Softball Club, the three of us going on to be the best of mates. As we went through both intermediate and high school, sports continued to play a big part in our lives, playing rugby for Hillcrest and softball for Knighton. Softball sort of fell by the wayside at Knighton, so as Don was such a good player, he went on to play for Melville. Finally, out of school and on to work, Peter, Don and I went on to play under-19s for Fraser Tech, with Lawrence playing second five for Melville. Have to say Peter had not got any smaller. God forbid if he had got stuck in a ruck that Peter was about to hit. In our second season of under-19s, Don, who was still playing halfback, transferred over to the dark side to play for Melville, as he had been getting a lot of rugby off the bench at Fraser Tech. Through under-19s and under-21s, the Melville-Fraser Tech game had a bit of an edge with Don, Lawrence and myself all playing. Big tackles, big hits, and a few big chuckles. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be knuckles. The next is from Don's mate of 10 or 11, from 10, 11-year-olds, LJ. Don and I first met when we were around 10, 11 years old while playing softball. From here on, we formed a great friendship. It was either my place or his. Both mums cooked a good feed, so we were never hungry. We played softball for Melville in the summer, and then I got him to transfer to Melville for rugby. So all year round we lived for softball and rugby and all that happens before and after the games. Don was very good at both sports, represented Waikato in softball through the age groups and finished playing for the Waikato Evergreens and Masters teams. Rugby, he couldn't make the Waikato team, but he had contacts, my dad. So he played a couple of games for the Waikato Maori team. He always said he had a bit of a darkie in him. Don loved to win. He had a great passion for both rugby and softball. Once the games were over, win, lose or draw, it was always to crack a few coldies. Waikato was his choice. Always the first to start and the last to leave. This got us both into trouble quite a lot. That hasn't changed, actually, with Don. He was always the last to leave. But that didn't bother us, and still doesn't. We just enjoyed having a few beers together with all of our mates. Don married Sharon, and I was lucky enough to be the best man. And they went on to have 3 kids, Olivia, Jared, and Ryan. When they moved to Auckland, we didn't see each other as often. But when we did, it was as if we still lived around the corner from each other. Yearly birthday and Christmas calls to each other, never went amiss. But mate, I do miss you now. He would always say, love you, LJ, something not many mates say to each other. We were close. My brother, the best anyone could have or ask for. Love you, bro. Just about time to crack a cold one or two. From the family. Donald Arthur Bostock was born in Whakatane, July 4th, 1956, to parents Harry, Trevor and Dorothy May Bostock. He has 4 siblings, John, deceased, Dave, Peter and sister Marie. He has 3 children, as we've heard already, Olivia, Jared and Ryan, grandchildren Tiana and Leilani, Coralie, Sienna and Braxton, and great-grandson Quest, who he loved adoringly. They moved to Hamilton a short time later where Hello? So after Don's birth, they moved to Hamilton a short time later, where Don attended Knighton Road Primary School, mainly to eat his lunch. He went on to follow the footsteps of his father to be a plumber, but decided crawling under houses was, in his words, bloody shit. So he did a 4-year apprenticeship with J.R. Rankin and Son, painters and decorators. He moved to Sydney on the 6th of July in 1978, and Sharon, unknown to Don at the time, also moved to Sydney around about a month out from Don the same year. A month later, about a month later. Don played rugby for the Sydney Welsh Rugby Club. He worked at a brewery over there and was very happy with his job, as he always got a free slab at the end of each week. Don also painted in Aussie for a while. He met his one and only in March 1979. They got engaged in August 1979 and moved back to New Zealand and married in Western Springs on the 5th of January 1980. They went back to Sydney and moved into their own place in Bondi Junction, just around the corner from the Roosters Rugby League Club, which made him a very happy chappie. It was his first league club that he joined. Don continued to paint but wanted to head back to New Zealand. Sharon was working at Coopers and Lybrard as a stock and share clerk and was very happy there and said, Don, the only way I'm heading home is if you get me pregnant. So, action. They moved back to New Zealand, back to Hamilton on the 20th of December 1980. As Olivia was due 15th of March 1981, however, she arrived 5 weeks early on the 11th of February 1981. Jared was next on the 21st of October 1982, and then Ryan on the 16th of May 1985. The family was complete. When Don returned to Hamilton, he went back to his old employer, J.R. Rankin and Son. Ray Rankin retired and Don took over the business as Bostock Decorators. He got offered a job as purchaser for Hawkins Construction in Auckland, so they sold up and moved to Auckland. In 1986, they bought their home in Wirihana Road and with the intention of staying for 2 years or so. 36 years later, still there. Don was made redundant in 1988, the time of the stock exchange collapse. He worked for Bremner Decorating, left there and worked for Sharp Decorators for years, and once again was made redundant, which he was totally gutted about. He worked with his good mate Laurie Carroll, who had a cleaning business, until he landed a job with J.R. Webb and Sons, where he was to this day. So I'd just like to share with you a few words about me and my mate. I first met Don in 1991, down here at Glenora, where Don turned up with Ryan and I turned up with my son Stephen, who were registered with the under-6s. I was coach of the team and I was looking for a manager, and on the very first day Don put his hand up and grabbed hold of the position. From that very day we've become the closest of mates. For the next 12 years we partnered in taking the team through minis, mods and juniors. And it was around this time I decided that my coaching days were over. They were ready for senior football, or pretty close to it. But Don, however, went on to manage many more teams in the years ahead, including OARs and Glenora Premiers and Don's Angels softball team. A core group of that original team stuck together right throughout the grades. And as I was walking in before, I could see a lot of those boys and the parents here today. The bond between the boys and the parents continued throughout the years and remains today as a testament to Don and how he managed and organised the team. Organising the functions, trips away, including Runaway Bay and the Gold Coast, the usual Saturday nights at the club. When the doors closed, it wasn't enough. Don wanted us all to stick together, so the parties continued. Don was behind it all. There's something in science called laminin, and it's what holds the body together. Don had that quality. A very important person in the mix was the team's sponsor, Don's brother Dave, always loyal to the team. Don had a heart of gold and would do anything for you. When my youngest son Curtis unexpectedly died over 20 years ago at the age of 9, Painter Don turned up at my house with another team parent, Grant Souness, and spent the weekend prepping and painting the entire house exterior. Totally unexpected, but gratefully appreciated at the lowest time of my life, as parents who have lost children will know. Don, thank you that I was able to partner with you in playing our role in helping a bunch of boys turn out to be successful men in business and life in general, being assets to society. As LJ said in his notes that I read earlier, Don would always tell you that he loved you. More so after a few beers, though. But it was a genuine measure of the guy's heart. So Don, I unashamedly say to you, I love you, mate. You will always be remembered as one of the best and loyal friends to me and many others. Thank you.
Thank you, Richard. We're just going to take a moment to to reflect on Don's life, and Tiana will play some music. It's not. Oh, there it goes. Oh, okay. Oh, where's Tiana? Okay. We're going to ask Linda Higgins to come up, and she was Don and Sharon's bridesmaid at their wedding.
Thank you. This reading's entitled, Not How Did He Die, but How Did He Live? Oh, sorry. Thank you. Is that better? Okay. Not how did he die, but how did he live? Not what did he gain, but what did he give? These are the units to measure the worth of a man as a man, regardless of his birth, nor what was his church, nor what was his creed. But had he befriended those really in need? Was he ever ready with the words of good cheer, to bring back a smile and to banish a tear? Not what did the sketch in the newspaper say, but how many people were sorry he passed away. And I'm looking at you guys and, well, we certainly know the measure of our man, don't we? On a personal note, I'd just like to say I've known Sharon since childhood, and I, along with Lawrence, had the honour of being a part of their bridal party when they married. I only actually met Donald a week before their wedding, and I must say, from day one, you could see that they would be together forever. And sadly, forever, physically anyway, came to an end on the 3rd. But he'll never leave Sharon or the kids or grandkids alone. He'll always be there in their memories, their hearts, and in spirit, as Sharon already knows. From the first day she introduced me until the last time I saw him at her 60th, he never ever changed. It was just always the same man, always the same guy. Sharon, I love you, darling, and I know you, Olivia, Jared and Brian and their families have a hard road ahead of you for a little bit, but I know your closeness and your love as a family will help you keep strong for each other. And Don, my friend, everyone that has taken the time to come here today to celebrate all that was you, you were and are and always will be very much loved. Rest in peace, my darling friend. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda. Lalani Bostock Hotai, granddaughter. Oh, so Marie Gaylord? Yep. Oh, okay, that's all right. All right. We have Marie Gaylord, Don's sister and brother.
And Peter.
And Peter.
Minder.
Oh, the minder. You're just like Don. Oh, sorry. Here you go.
Let's hold it close. Yeah. Okay, I'm Marie, Don's sister, and would like to say something on behalf of the Bostock family. When our dad died, Don was 18. He took on the role of looking after Mum and I. He was always there for all of us and took me under his wing, taking me to rugby and softball and teaching me how to pass a rugby ball and ride a motorbike, what he knew best. We would all get up in the middle of the night to watch the All Black games on our crackly old black and white TV, and Don taught me all the rules. He was my big brother that looked after me through the teenage years, sorting stuff out without worrying Mum. Thanks, Don. We called him Donald growing up, but he was also known as Donk, a nickname he was given by a mate. He would always bring extras home that had nowhere to go for Christmas or needed somewhere to stay. Nothing has changed there. He was the younger of our brothers, but held his own and didn't take any shit from his big brothers, as they have said. He was always there for Mum, him and Sharon, including her in everything their family did. We went on many family trips over the years to the Snow, Oz, Raro, Whitianga. Don would always be the barbecue cook. He wouldn't let anyone else cook. He never stood around watching others do things, he just got stuck in and did it. He loved to party and was usually one of the last to go to bed, and while we all slept in the next day, he was up early cleaning up from the night before and cooking us all breakfast. Painting Mum's house, our house, or helping when there was a building project on, Don would always be down to help us out. He would drop everything to be there for any of us. He made everyone his priority, especially his family and friends. He always had us laughing, smiling and singing, usually Elvis or the Mooloo song. When the phone rang late at night, well then there was no caller ID then. It was usually Don or Sharon, and they were singing on the other end of the phone or just rang for a chat. He was the best Uncle Don to all his nieces and nephews, and here are some words from them. Uncle Don was the most amazing, kind, non-judgmental uncle. We loved spending time with him. He was so much fun, nothing was an issue. You didn't need to ask him for help. He was there if he knew you needed it. We went to Auckland for weekends out. We knew if we needed anything, we could ring Uncle Don any time of the night and he'd be there for us. When Donald met Sharon and had their 3 beautiful children and grandchildren, his world was fulfilled. They were his heart and soul, they were his world. I know how proud he was and how much he loved you all. Sharon, thank you for loving our brother. We love you. Don's passing will leave a huge hole in our family's lives, but he will be looked after by Mum, Dad and John. He was my idol, he was my hero and the best brother I could have. We love you, Don.
We love you, Don.
Thank you. Renee McCoy, daughter-in-law, and Sienna Bostock, granddaughter. Do you want me to hold it? Or are you all right? Okay, just make sure it's up close. Okay.
Our Pop. Pop, just in case you don't know, we want you to hear it from us. You're more precious than words can describe. You're the heart of our family. We will love you forever and ever. There's no one more special than you. We love you to the moon and back and right up to the stars. We are the luckiest to have a Pop as special as you are. Love, Sienna, Daisy Bostock and Braxton Maurice Bostock.
We have Jared Bostock, son.
Yeah, I'm Jared. I just want the type of guy Dad is, as you all know, he's just top bloke and help you out wherever you can, wherever you need it. Just want to say love you, Dad, and thanks for everything. So thanks for everything, for coming and supporting. Okay.
Ryan Bostock, son.
Fuck, this just shows it, eh? Like, the love and passion that Dad creates around everyone is just mind-blowing. Dad brought us kids up fucking amazingly, and Mum. They've just given us great morals and everything, and I just can't thank Mum and Dad enough for it. Unfortunately, life's cut short on us, which is it's just so unfair. But I just want to thank everyone that over the last week, everyone that's just man, our love and support that's been around us has been unbelievable. And the clubs that have helped us out to let everything happen that's happening and afterwards and everything. And thank you to everyone that's helped out just in general. And just we're going to stick together. And we'll get through this. Love you, Dad.
Thank you, Ryan. We have an open floor for anyone who would like to come up and pay tribute to Don. The open floor will continue also at Glen Eden Bowling Club with refreshments and food after the service. You will hear the Mooloo bell ring, and at that time it means it's time for Don's final journey here. So the floor is open for anyone.
Kia ora everyone, my name is Melanie and this is my mum Gabrielle. We have known the Bostocks for almost 40 years. Living just over the fence from them, we have gone from being neighbours to considering each other as family, and I have many fond memories of Don growing up. His laughter, his humour, his singing voice, kindness and generosity of time, to name a few. Don was never one to shy away from hard work, always volunteering at a working bee, school or sporting club, even painting our family house. Don and Sharon have both supported our whānau through many life events. Their love and support over the years has been constant, and for that we are forever grateful. I asked my husband of a fond memory of Don. He said others called me Ginge, but to Don I was Mr. Plod. He was a police officer. Carl also said if I played a bad game of footy, Don would always ask me afterwards, "What was that shit?" I'd like to thank you, Don, for being such an incredible role model and showing hard work and unconditional love. Today is a testament of how many people you have touched in your life, and I am proud to have known and be loved by you. Sharon, Olivia, Jared and Ryan, from our whānau to all of yours, we are so terribly sorry for your loss. I know right now up there will be a mad welcoming party, and in my heart I can hear his voice singing the night away. Rest easy, Don, until we meet again.
Kia ora. Kia ora katoa e te whānau. Remember me. Speak of me as you have always done. Remember the good times, laughter and fun. Share the happy memories we've made. Do not let them wither or fade. I'll be with you all in the summer's sun, and when the winter's chill has to come, I'll be the voice that whispers in the breeze. I'm peaceful now, put your mind at ease. I've rested my eyes and gone to sleep, but memories we've shared are yours to keep. Sometimes our final days may be a test, but remember me when I was at my best. Although things may not be the same, don't be afraid to use my name. Let your sorrow last for just a while, comfort each other with a smile. I lived a life filled with joy and lots of fun. Live on now, make me proud of what you will become. Haere rā, Don. I miss you.
To Shaz and all the family. A lot of us first met Don when he came down here to Glenora Rugby League clubrooms, and I went, finally, I've got another Waikato supporter. And over the years, Don and I not only supported Glenora Rugby League, but in that time, every time we watched Waikato, we baited each other, we baited other people wherever we went. And when the Chiefs come along, it was the mighty Chiefs. And we were so grateful when the Chiefs won the Super 12 or Super 14. So my mate Don is a Waikato man first, like I am. After that, we're Glenora. Today I speak for Glenora, and what a great man he was to have around the clubrooms. He had the banter with his brother when his brother was involved with the Newland Stags as well. So there was a lot of banter going on in the third grade, which all the Glenora boys enjoyed. It was real fun, and I see some of these Glenora boys that played through the grades as Don managed these teams, and it's a real pleasure for me to see all these people here today. He was a fantastic man to me, a great friend, a great mate, and he had that sly grin, and he used to nudge me and say, look, I'm going to wind someone up. And he'd give me a little grin, and he'd go like that. And the worst one he used to do it to was Rooster. He said, I'm going to wind that rooster up. I'll get that rooster going. And he did. So that's the memories I have of that man, a great friend, a great buddy. And over the last few years, he got involved with the Twin Coast Motorcycle Club, which is not a gang, it's just a great bunch of boys that get together, and man, did he help us out. He helped us out, he devised having a pool comp, and he raised money for our bike club so we could pay our rent. What a fantastic man, great friend, great mate, and I'll miss you. Thanks, mate, and like you had always said to me, move on. Cheers.
Return the favour.
Afternoon. I'm Ken Curtin. I'm a long-time friend of the families. Firstly, on behalf of the Stags, I'd just like to offer the club's condolences. It was a great loss and a great shock. I first met Don and Sharon when my wife was playing in their Porkies touch team. They weren't a great team on the field, but shit, they're an awesome team off the field, eh? Real sociable. Okay, and then of course, with the kids playing softball, netball, league, the relationship between the two families just grew, got stronger. And of course, there was always the banter that we were talking about before, with the open age, my son playing for Newland and Rido playing for the Glenora. Don certainly let the Stag boys know who he supported. But then afterwards, once he had a couple of beers, he was good as gold. In fact, Don even gave me a Glenora jersey for my 40th birthday. He probably stole it from me, you bugger, so now I've told everybody. So I had to bring down a Stag shirt for today. So Don, even though you're gone, you'll never be forgotten. You'll always be part of both clubs. So I love you, dude, and certainly going to miss you. Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Teresa Cassidy, the President of Glen Eden Bowling Club. No doubt I'll meet you all when you all come over later, but I'm here to thank Don very much for all the hard work that he's done for our club. So, sorry. So this is a man that was asked, quite a few years ago, Don, can you do this, for the club? And you got, no, don't even ask me to do anything for the club, blah, blah, blah. Well, Don, I'm here to say thank you for painting the interior of our club room. Thank you for the water blasting. Thank you, we've not long had our 100th centenary. Thank you for painting the exterior of our club room and our grounds. And yes, he managed to bring the red lady along who wanted to paint the town red. So when you come over, everything you see red is done by Sharon. Thank you, Sharon. But I was worried at one stage there I'd turn up in the morning and the whole place is red. So thank God Don was there to keep you in hand, believe it or not. I'd also like to thank Don for his sponsorship with the club as well. Always had good banter with him, you know, and a lot of people didn't realise that if you give him that banter, you're going to get it back twice as hard. So I'd also like to thank him for, he got involved in the Mates and Bowls, which is on a Thursday night, and he got all the girls involved as well in the whānau. So that was really good, and he really enjoyed it, and he did actually win it in 2019 with Caddy and Joe Boyce. So that was really cool. You'll see some photos later on. And yeah, you're going to be dearly missed on, and yeah, and farewell for now. And I know he'll always be with us, and everybody that comes up and has their little say today, he'll be standing there having a laugh with you. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Graham, Sharon's brother. I'd just like to thank Don and part of the Bashara family for being such a wonderful brother-in-law and fantastic person and bloody happy-go-lucky good bloke. And I'm sorry Dad called you up so early, mate. It's just crazy. You know, you're always there to back him up. Mum must have been giving him a bloody hard time as soon as you got up there. So sorry, mate. Sorry, Sharon. Save it, Mum.
Thanks. I'm the baby of the family. She's next. Don, I don't know why you got taken so young. It's just a crazy ride. And Sharon, you don't deserve this. No one ever does. But what a beautiful, beautiful man. And I have the pleasure of spending nearly every day at Sharon and Don's this week. And most of you people came in, hugged me, greeted me, brought food, brought paper plates, brought bowls, knives, forks, drinks, more drinks, and toilet paper. So to all you people, you are just the most beautiful people for Sharon to have around. You are blessed. You really are blessed, Shaz. And we are blessed to have known him. Thanks, Don. So sad. Thank you.
Hey everybody, I'm Stephen Pond, or Pondy. As Richard was saying earlier, Donald from a very young age put a lot of time into a few of us boys, and I never got to say thank you to Don for that time, and it was a lot of time he put into us, and I'm sure there's a few of the boys that would stand up and say the same thing. So I'd just like to say thank you, Don, for your time and your effort, and it's very much appreciated. So thank you.
Hold it close.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Agnes Williams. First met Sharon and Don 4.5 years ago. And I've never met two people who greeted me and mine with open arms. Anyway, I thought I'd be able to stand here in front of you and give testament to my friend. Instead, I would like to read a poem. I came across this poem about 3 years ago, and unfortunately couldn't get the name or the writer. And then just a year ago, I switched channels, and there it was, just started to flicked on the record. So this is the poem. When I die, give what's left of me away to children and old men that wait to die. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother or sister who walk the street beside you. And when you need me, put your arms around anyone and give them what you need to give to me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not your mind. You can love me most by letting hands touch hands, by letting bodies touch bodies, and by letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So, when all that's left of me is love, give me away. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Anna, and I'm one of the friends of the Bostocks. Donald, everyone here today is feeling like me, shocked. This was not expected, which is why it's difficult to comprehend. You have always been my friend. There's lots of stories I could say about you, but I'm not sure I could talk for hours. Instead, I thought I'd just read this. A friend is someone we turn to when our spirits need a lift. A friend is someone we treasure, for friendship is a gift. A friend is someone who fills our lives with beauty, joy, and grace. A friend makes the world we live in a better and happier place. Thank you, Donald, for being my friend and giving me so many happy memories, for being there through my life's ups and downs. Love you, Donald.
Tēnā koutou katoa. Ko Steve Sangster, aho. I and my wife then met Don when him and Sharon had recently married. My wife had gone to school with Sharon, and they were living in Sydney. And hit it off really well with Don straight away, and obviously plenty of people did hit it off with him, because look how many people are here today. It's a great tribute to him, Sharon, and family. So many people love you all. So Don was playing rugby for the Sydney Welsh. I recall watching him play the game there, and I wasn't in Sydney for long, but we ended up going on a little trip down to Canberra. Went outside, and where's my car? This is Don. Where's my car? It's the brown one. And of course, the colourblind painter, it wasn't the brown one, it was the green Escort. And so Sharon's going, yeah, fucking dickhead, it's a green car. Our children were born, our firstborn was a race for them to come out, and Olivia won. But our three children were all born pretty much the same times, and we went on holidays together, and I had really great memories of those camping holidays where we went, the two families. So it's a huge shock, you know. Just no words. The world lost a really good bastard. So, ka kite, my dear friend.
Kia ora, my name's Fred Clark, my sister Christine and my wife Kate. We have known the Bostocks since the 90s, since this clubrooms, but it wasn't really through the league, it was through the touch, the over 30s. We used to have some really good times, and on a few occasions we'd have a few and then we'd end up going somewhere, and because my sister lived next door to us, it was always on Lavelle Road. We ended up there one time, a little bit happy, and Don and Sharon and a few of the whānau were sitting there, and then Don says, "Oh, your wallpaper's falling down," and I went, "Oh no, it's all right." So he tended to walk over and then he ripped the bastard off. And then Sharon goes, "Oh," and then she went up and she ripped a bit of the shit off too. And I said to my wife, "What the hell? I think I've found my best friend ever." And then from there on we played and we drank, and our families, the Malavis and the Porkies were and always are very close families, especially when Katie, Sharon would ring up and go, "Hey Maggot, what are you doing tonight?" And we'd get on the piss and we'd have good times, and half the time it was in the garage. And Don would do this amazing thing, which was every time you think you're leaving and you think, "Oh shit, he's cleaned up," but the only thing is he was sticking all the bloody bottles and everything in our washing machines and everything like that. And he was sticking the bottles, the big bots, in the middle of the agitators, so you can't get the bastards out, you have to tip them over. And then one time a client of ours came in and he was wanting to pick up his washing machine and his dryer, and I got up and we were bit hung, and come over and opened up and it had all these frickin' bottles in them. But I think we got him back because me and my bro started sticking bottles in his guttering. He only found out when it started to rain. So, yep, we have some good times, and we always will. To Sharon and the whānau, so deadly sorry for your loss. I'll just pass you on to Chrissy.
Yep. Kia ora everyone, I'm Chrissy Namotu. I just wanted to say a quick, obviously much love to you all and how much you've been part of our family. We used to live in Mariana down the road, not far from you. I just wanted to say that my kids send much love in the whānau of ours that could not make it here today, you know how much I love Don and all of you. And I just wanted to express that and thank you. And we'll be here for you, Shaz. Love you.
Kia ora, I'm Kay, I'm Fred's wife. I say that quietly. He stole all my stories. I would have said it better too. But to Don, you're an amazing man, and you will so be dearly missed. I just don't know how to express it. I don't have the words. But to Sharon and your whānau, our deepest sympathy and love to you all. I won't sing. I will now. But Donald, moi mai rā. Haere, haere, haere.
Love you, Don.
Kia ora, Don.
Thank you. Can I get the Open Age boys up here, please? Come on, brother. And not many of these boys would probably get up here and say too much today, but I know they're feeling pretty heavy at the moment. Not the best thing for us all, really. On behalf of me and the boys and whoever wants to say something, Don, you managed us boys and took us all the way. And you're a good spirit. You always looked after the boys, made sure the boys had jerseys and gears to wear. And always make sure that you revved us up and got us out on that field to go and play for Glenora anywhere we were around Auckland. For me personally, when Don stopped managing the Open Age team, and when I stopped playing, I started to manage. And he came over to me and he said, "Cheese, here's some keys. These are the keys to every club, every changing sheds in Auckland. Don't fuck it up, you're the manager." And that was it. That was it. And so we kept the team going, and Don would always come into the club and he would always come and have a chat and see how the team was still going. Sometimes you'd see him on the sideline and he'd always come in and chat with the boys. Friendly, kind, giving person, and just like family. And all the boys can feel we're all family. Hey, and it's a sorry for your loss. You want to say anything? You got anything?
Love you, Don. Yeah, Don was a great man. Like Brad said, he always looked after us. I'm sure, yeah, lots of people tried to emulate, but yeah, there was only one Don.
Thank you for your time.
Kia ora Tiwi. My name is Cody. Apologies on behalf of my family, the Totore clan, who couldn't make it due to living in Australia. But they send their love and their condolences. I also just got my wisdom teeth out, so hopefully I don't drool. Firstly, I'd like to acknowledge Mama Bear Sharon, Liv, Jared and Ryan, and the extended whānau. I know the family because they used to babysit my brother and I. We were known as Monday and Tuesday because those were the names on our bib, even though it was a Friday. Washing machine must have been broken. And I'm sure Don couldn't tell us apart as well, so Monday and Tuesday was easier. One of the memories that I have of Don that has stuck with me is the time I talked to him about struggling with confrontation. And I said to Don, I always sugarcoat everything. And he replied,
"No, Katie, you don't sugarcoat it. Don't be a puff."
So when you have to deal with confrontation, just remember Don's words, don't be a puff. I can see him upstairs having a beer and a smoke. And it's not goodbye, Don. It's see you when I see you. Cheers, old boy.
Hi there, I'm Justin Little. Hadn't really planned on coming up to say much. Thought it might be a bit hard, but Don, for about 15 years, you were a pretty close mate. Every weekend, mate, actually. and probably during the week as well for 15 years. I helped you out strapping the boys down here at Glenora and at Newland, which wasn't easy. You tried leaving 20 years ago when you fell down the stairs, but it wasn't your time, mate. And I remember we all shaved our heads, the management team, because Don had to shave his. We didn't have much hair, and I blame you for what's happened. However, mate, I thank you. For being my mate, taking in my sisters, as part of your family as well. I know my parents would love to be here, but they're not well enough, and my sisters are probably watching. And we all love you very much, Don. The league and the rugby tests won't be the same, and the late night drinks, and we know that you couldn't last all night, so we'd often find you asleep on the toilet. And then me and Chaz would spot aliens in the morning. So, mate, yeah, you've shocked us, and we're really going to miss you. But thank you very much for everything that you taught me and gave to our families. Thank you.
Anyone else? I'm just asking because, you know, it's so far away at the back there and you might not be able to hear anything, but anybody from out the back?
Kia ora. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Monique, Don's favourite angel. I just want to say thank you. Thank you for loving us and my kids like your own. All the effort you put into our team. Half of them were just there for the drinking, but no, we did good. We ended up taking out the championship and the drinking competition, so yeah, I didn't really know what to say, but I was a kid that never shut up, so I thought I'd better say something. Yeah, and just all my love to all you guys. Sorry for your loss. But yeah, most of all, thank you. And we'll see you when we see you.
Oh, well, my son stood up and thanked Don,
And I want to say that Glenora Rugby League and all the friends, Sharon, and that I made when Steve started with Don, they're my friends forever. And even though I might be up north now, you guys are just my friends forever. I mean, they even come up to my 60th and got drunk with me. Well, I think they might have got more drunk than me, but it was a great night. But, you know, you make friends when your kids are playing league, and I was on my own, and Don always used to say, "Come here, Susie." Give me a big hug. Not many people were allowed to call me Susie, I might add, but they always opened their arms to me, and didn't matter if I was on my own, I was always welcome. And they helped me, you know, with the boys, with the rugby league, and helped me hose them down on some days when we had to bring them home from the league. And I'm just heartbroken for you, Sharon. I'm heartbroken. I wish I had a Don. He was just magic. And I thank God that all the cuddles I got and all the cheek I got and all the wonderful Glenora friends I made, you're here forever. And I love you so much. And to the family, it just breaks my heart. But he'll be up there with my dad sorting all the shit up upstairs, so he'll probably be getting it all organised. Dad will be doing the traffic and Don will be getting the beers. So I love you, honey, and I really, really, really feel for you all.
G'day. Bugger. So, Ryan, Sharon, the other kids who we forget the names of. Liv, Jared. Mate. I'm around if you need me, yeah? Yeah? Okay, so the one main thing I remember about Don mostly is he's always there. Every single family function, anything, you know, you could always count on him. Even if he didn't say much, you know. Well, you know. But, you know, there's always a solid presence there, regardless, you know. And like, yeah. I figured we'd be more Basharas up here and say at least something, for God's sakes. Well, where's my old man? Like,
my name's T. I've known you, Sharon and Don, for a little while, but he was a gentleman to me. When every time I come to the club, I get a kiss from him. Where am I going to kiss my kiss now from? He promised me where me and him are going to go to the Cook Island together, but he left me behind. I'm only saying because this guy's a real good gentleman to me, to everybody. As for Graham has said to me, he's a real good fella. I never really knew Don that much, but the time we spent together, it was pretty good. I get into trouble with that woman over there. So, my darling, you always call me your darling. Fly high, my darling. I'll always be here for you. Thank you.
Kia ora everyone, my name's James Nathan. My mum and dad were very good friends with Sharon and Don. Spent a lot of good times with that family, and hearing the news really hurt. Mike and Troy sends their love. Sorry they couldn't make it. But yeah, the memory I have of Don sits with me a lot. I'll play a game of footy out on the field. Win or lose, he'll come up to me after the game, bring me a beer and tell me what I did right, what I did wrong, and just to let go and move on to the next game. He was a very close friend. He gave a lot of time to me, and moi mara my bro.
Oh, look at him,
Anyone else? We're just going to play some music.
Today would be our last.
Okay, just before we close, does anybody else want to come up here and pay their last tribute to Don?
I'd just like to say thank you on behalf of my family and Coralie, just for everything Don's done for me and letting me move into the place and stuff. But yeah, just thank you.
Hi, I'd just like to say to Sharon, on behalf of all your cousins, we'll all be there for you, and I think your dad and my dad have been looking after Don upstairs.
Okay. I just want to say before we close, I met Don and Sharon at the Glenora Bowling Club. I was a new kid on the block, out in the area where we entertain ourselves, and they didn't say too much to me about it except hello. I became president, and I thought Don Kwan and Sharon Queen Bee, if I could get them, because they always said to me, ain't effing doing anything for you. I thought if I could get them, they were like putty in my hands. So I did. I used to call Don Petal. I won't tell you what I called Sharon, but I used to call Don Petal, Sweet, and Faceache, depending on the day. Thanks, Don. You were an anchor for all of us. And thanks for leaving Sharon with us too. We're going to miss you. We'll look after her if she doesn't boss us around too much. So we are now going to come into our closing. I've lost the Mulu bell. I don't know where the... Oh, there you are. Okay, so now it's time for Don's final journey here. We do have a lot of people were filling in the memory box, and we have posies out there as well. So when we all go outside, you can say your last farewell to Don with the posies. We will have the balloons. I'm going to ask Caddy, Dave Gwillim, Wayne Irwin, Lawrence Joseph, Ken Curtin, Bruce Norton to take the final walk. Can you come up here, please?
Get some of the girls to come and take some of the flowers.
Right, when they start lifting out.
Let's get a flower.
Everybody's calling you.
Thank you.